If I ask the question, are you ready to retire? The majority of people, their minds are going to go straight to money. Yes, money is very important when you're thinking about retirement, but it's not the only thing that you need to think about. Research has shown that almost a third of the people who are newly retired go into a deep depression after retirement. I don't know if anyone is really looking at this. A third of the people who retire, this is something that is plaguing the world, right? A third of the people who go into retirement go into a depression. Why? It's not because of finances. It's because they haven't found their purpose and their passion after retiring. After working for 30, 40, 50 years, they have not made a plan, a solid plan to successfully retire. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jill. I'm known in the social media streets as Pink Jardin. I do a lot of gardening and sustainable life content. So I'm on a wellness journey. I am 56. I had a baby at 43, so I am a mom, a wife, and a veteran. My husband and I both are veterans, and I work in the nonprofit world around the topic of aging within the metro Atlanta area. So I do a lot of talks and webinars, seminars, all kind of things age related. But I myself at 56, my husband and I, both in our 50s, we are actively pursuing and thinking about and planning for our own retirement. And it got me to thinking about what will it take for us to really truly retire. My parents were already retired by the time they were my age. They both retired, one at 50 and the other at 52. Why am I still working? The thing is that a lot of us think about, do I have enough money? It's just like when you have a child. You think, do I have enough money to have a kid? Do I have enough money now to retire? So my husband and I like to look at our lives as a whole. And that means encompassing every aspect of our lives, not just the financial. So the physical, meaning our physical health, our nutrition. Nutrition is a huge part of your physical health, right? Not just moving your body with the physical, but also what you're intaking is going to come out and it's going to affect your physical health. Hence why I garden. One of the reasons why I garden. Our emotional health, our mental health, our spiritual health. That has to do with whatever beliefs you have. That's very individual, very personal, right? But it has to do with your own personal beliefs. The financial, we know for sure we have to be able to live. You have to be able to keep that roof over our head, pay our bills. We still will have bills. We have a fixed income. Some of us will have a fixed income as we go into retirement. Some of us may have a little more money. Some may have less than that. But there will be some type of a budget as we go into retirement. Then lastly, I like to look at what I call environmental. Where are you going to live? How are you going to live? Those are the type of questions that encompass our entire life. It's almost to say, what is the point of saving up so much money, working hard for 30, 40 years, 50 years, and then you retire and you're not able to enjoy the money and the time that you now have? I'm not going to dive too deep into these 7 pillars because I want to come back and we really take a deep dive into each one of them. But the physical, keeping your body moving on a daily basis. And I haven't always done that. I do garden, so in Georgia, I can 8 months out of the year, I can physically get outside. And gardening, let me tell you, is not for the weak. Lifting bags of mulch and gravel and soil, maybe it's some work, okay? But getting your body moving is very key, very important to stabilizing your core, keeping your muscles, your balance. That's why a lot of us as seniors start to lose muscle, lose balance, and there are a lot of falls, breaking bones, and we don't heal like we used to, okay? Even a scrape or a bruise does not heal the way that it used to. And then that ties also into what we're eating. So our nutrition, I can't eat the way I did when I was 20 years old. Eating the pizza and the fries and all the things. I have a 13-year-old child who likes to eat some of that stuff, but I can't eat it like he does, right? I will spend days trying to recover. So what we put in is what we're going to get out. So if you are suffering from things like inflammation, you got to change what you're eating. There are certain foods that you're eating that's inflaming your body. A lot of times that pain that you're feeling in your joints and so forth, that's inflammation. And that can be recovered. That can be solved by changing what you eat. Definitely, you need to put on your goal list. It's still early in the year. Put it on your goal list that you're going to make your annual appointments, see your physician, talk to your physician. We talk about bossing up. We have to be the CEOs of our own health. Be the boss of your own health. When you go into that doctor's appointment, have the questions. Disclose all the things that are aches and pains and all the things that are bothering you. Because you can't get better and you can't be at your optimal health if you're covering up things and don't want to talk about the things. All right? So we have to go in, make those annual appointments. I know with my doctor, I can go and schedule an appointment prior to, if there's something that's really acute that's bothering me, I can see them and schedule an appointment. Even with the PA, to schedule an appointment just to see what is this, and you want to address it right away, right? So you don't always have to wait until your annual appointment. But at that annual appointment, they set aside a block of time so that you can go through all of these things and they do your blood work and all of that. Same thing with your dentist. Do you know that your dental health can affect not just your physical health, but also your mental, emotional health? It can actually, if you were to, for example, I did a video not too long ago about a tooth that I had that I broke 30 some odd years ago. That tooth became infected. I had an abscess. An abscess, and thank God I dealt with it right away. And I eventually ended up having the tooth extracted and will have to get an implant. But if it had gone on and I just left it and not dealt with it, an abscess can get into your bloodstream. It can cause certain things like a heart attack, strokes, even brain damage. So it's not something, your dental health, your dental oral care is not to be played with. Our physical health is very important. Our nutrition is very important. Now, the mental, emotional, and spiritual. I'm not going to go too deep into that because, again, that is a personal thing. That is something that everybody's beliefs. We're all unique. We all have our own set of beliefs. But just know that when I talked about finding a passion, having a purpose, that is one of the reasons why I started my garden. I started my garden, one, for the nutrition, because I'm not going to the grocery store to buy a tiny little packet of herbs. I grow so many different herbs across the property that we have here, not just in the garden, but around the property itself. And these herbs that I grow, I make tea with them, I make tinctures and different things with them, cook with them, but even oils that help with inflammation externally and internally. And when you're watching this video, definitely, as a disclaimer, make sure that you speak to your physician before you start any type of routines, whether it's physical or intaking of anything, right? So that is one of the reasons why I started the garden. The other reason that I started the garden is because it was a passion. So I started gardening back with my grandmother as a little kid. And then that evolved into, when I was in college, putting things in little pots inside of a windowsill. Because I love to make tea and garnish things. I like for my food to be pretty and put little garnishings and all that kind of thing. But I also, that led to, I believe it was in I went to Italy in 2007. And in 2008, I was offered a position on a military base, working with active duty, the injured active duty, and to run an art center on Conserma Italy military base, army base in Vicenza, Italy. I met with, it was hundreds of soldiers, active duty, and they were coming back, some coming back injured, and they was just started what was called a WTU, Wounded Transition Unit, for those who were coming back injured, and they were in like kind of a medical holding, basically. So I had this art center, and we started doing things that were amazing. Ceramics, woodwork, photography, paint, cooking, sewing. They wanted to sew. That really blew me away. But we also started gardening. And so fast forward several years, I am now gardening in Atlanta with seniors and veterans. It fills my heart, right? Especially as a veteran, it fills my heart. Because to see something so simple bring so many people so much joy, right? That is why. Finding a purpose, finding a passion. There are a lot of y'all out there who have worked a job for the last 30, 40, 50 years that you didn't even like. You didn't even like the job. You went to school for a career, for a major that someone else told you you needed to do because it would make you a successful person. It would give you a certain status, whatever the reasoning. But was it your true passion? Or now that you're thinking about retirement, you got to now find who you are today. You might be a different person today than you were those 30, 40 years ago. So what lit a fire in you back then is not or may not be what lights that fire in you today. So that's the question that you have to ask yourself. What lights that fire? What is going to, when you retire, going to make you want to get out of your bed every day? Put a smile on your face. My suggestion is Start thinking about it now before you retire. Or if you have already retired, you've already put that paperwork in, or you're already at home and retired, think about what is it that you want to do. Is it gardening? Is it volunteering, helping children, helping other seniors? Is it traveling the world? There's nothing wrong with, there's no right or wrong answer. It's about what is going to fulfill you as an individual. I want all of us to be able to successfully retire, right? And live the second chapter of our lives fulfilled. This life is so short, people. This life is so short. My grandmother used to say, baby, do all you can while you can. And I didn't know what she meant when she said that at the time. And I feel myself getting emotional now. Because now I understand what she meant. My grandmother dedicated her life to making sure that little brown kids, black and brown kids, in the state of Mississippi could go to early education. And she would go and fight for that in her state Congress. And she made sure to tell her grandchildren, do all you can while you can. Again, I did not understand what she meant at that time, but I do now. And I'm watching friends of mine who are my age, some even younger than 56, leaving this earth, working themselves to death. Y'all, we got to do better. So I plan to come back on here with more long form content, more discussions. And y'all, I'm going to allow you to hold me accountable, and we hold each other accountable. So that's kind of what you can expect to see going forward on Pink Jordan. Is more on my journey, our journey to retiring, successfully retiring. I'm going to show y'all something else before I go. Let's go. So guys, this is my kitchen. It's not some super fancy chef's kitchen, but it's our kitchen. It's home for us, right? And this is some ginger and some turmeric that I grew last season. If you go and check my Instagram, you probably see the videos on there. I'll probably insert a clip too. But I'm getting ready to do some content on honey. I got this honey in Hawaii when we were there last Christmas. Actually, it was Christmas of 24. No, Christmas of 23. So I just wanted to show you this kitchen because you're going to see me talk a lot about inflammation. And if you didn't know, inflammation is the root cause for a lot of things. It can be the root cause of your hypertension, your aches, the pains in your joints. A lot of people are getting hip surgeries. Doctors, don't come for me because, we need to talk to people about all of these things. Talk to your doctors about this, right? Some people that garden love to grow tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, potatoes. Those are nightshade vegetables. Nightshade also can cause a lot of swelling, inflammation, gut issues for people who are not able to tolerate nightshades. So I bring you into my kitchen because just like I'm going to take you to the garden. We won't go out into the garden today. Not much going on out there. It's February. But soon things will start reviving themselves as springtime approaches. And I will take you out to the garden on another video to see how I kind of prep for spring. But we will also take some field trips to my doctor appointments. When I ask my doctor some questions, we'll go to grocery stores. One of my favorites is Costco. I'm a Costco girl, I'm sorry. I love Costco. There's so many great things there. But we'll go shopping so that there's some of y'all are not all of you guys out there are going to garden. I mean, let's be real, right? And so when you go to the grocery store, even if you do garden, you are not going to grow everything. A farmer doesn't grow everything. So why would I expect for y'all to grow everything? And why would you expect for me to grow everything? So we're going to go to grocery stores and we're going to talk about what in the grocery store is good, what are better alternatives that you can find within the grocery store. Then we're going to also talk about physical health. You're going to see me working out. You're going to see me working this out. As my grandma say, work your meat. I'm going to work my meat and we're going to get it back to where I may not get back to where I used to be, right? But what is my optimal health for where I am today, at the age that I am today? So the goal is going to be to try to get to my optimal health, okay? So you're going to see me moving. That's that physical. You're going to see me in here cooking and using some natural products, some naturally, organically grown things that I can use to get to my nutritional and physical optimal health. Then we're going to talk to some counselors. We're even going to bring in some people, some friends of mine who are experts in the areas. Physical doctors, dentists, some people who grow things like olive oil. Y'all, there's some bad olive oil out there, okay? Be careful when you talk about getting your olive oil. There's some bad olive oil out there. I have somebody who grows their own olives. They have an orchard in Chile. We're going to bring her on. Her family they've got olive oil that's used by Michelin chefs. Baby, we bringing her on. She's going to talk to us about it. I have mental, physical coaches, spiritual. I have financial planners. We're going to talk about the finances. I have an elderly care. I have a couple of elderly care legal people who talk about getting your ducks in a row, right? Because it may sound a little morbid, but there's two certainties in this life. We have a date in, we have a date out. Everything in between, you need to get it together to make a plan. And she's going to help us with that. Then the environmental, I had someone to come. Did you know that there are people who can come into your house if you decide that you want to stay and age in your home? They can come and evaluate your house. Okay, we got to talk about this one. Did you know that there are people who can come and evaluate your home? A lot of y'all don't want to go to a nursing home. You don't want to go to a 55 and over community. Some of y'all might. I have family members who are in all the situations. I have some who are living just in a regular house and aging in their home. My mother is in what's called a personal care home. It's a smaller nursing home, no more than 20 residents. So it feels like family. Then I have family members who are in their 70s and 80s who live behind those beautiful gates with thousands of seniors in a senior community. Then I I have a family member who lives behind the gates, but it's like 75% seniors, and but you can have families in there with younger children too. It's like multi-generational. So there are all the various different types of places. That's the environment. So you really, when you start thinking about retiring, you have to think about where you want to live. Whether it's, and even in the same country, do you want to live in the same country? Do you want to live in the same state? What type of climate is going to be good for you and your optimal health, right? If you live in Montana right now, you lived in Montana for 40 years, you might want to get away from the cold, right? And go to Florida. But you have to think about that, and that takes planning, that takes conversations, especially if you have a significant other, right? But getting back to what I was saying, there's companies out there who can come into your home if you are deciding, or even you want to just play with the idea of staying in the home that you're in. So, for example, say you have stairs. If you have stairs in your home and no elevator, what if the day ever, God forbid, come and you can't go up and down those stairs? Some of y'all have those cute little egg-shaped tubs. What happens if you have a hip surgery or something, or an injury, and you can't lift your leg to get over into that tub? Or you have a huge step up into your shower and you need a roll-in shower. Or you need grab bars in the bathroom, over the toilet, the tub, and in the shower. Or you might even need grab bars down the hallway. Or you need the front door widened, or any of the doors in your home widened. Or you need to remove the microwave and bring it down lower. Or not have a microwave at all, because it's really not good for you anyway. But all of these things, they can come to your home and evaluate your home to see what things in your home you need to change to make your environment safer and more adaptable for you. Now, if you're a veteran, I work with veterans. There's what's called an adaptive grant for veterans. Now, of course, with anything with the government, you have to be deemed eligible for those benefits, right? But there's what's called an adaptive grant, meaning that if you're a veteran, for example, I have a friend who's in a wheelchair, was injured at war. He was able to get totally clear, don't have to pay back, a grant from the government, from the VA, to be able to have his doors widened, have shower done, all the things, his floors done, because his wheelchair is an automatic wheelchair and it's super heavy. It tore up the floors. Then the floors needed to be reinforced. He also was able to get a van, an adaptable, customized van that he can just roll into. There's no seat at the wheel, and to be able to drive. Now he's on the second van, because guess what? The vans depreciate, and you can apply and get a second vehicle. He was able to do that. So there's so much, guys. There's so many things out there. So many grants, so many different things, benefits for seniors. But there's so much that we have to think about in the planning to successfully retire. Successfully retire. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on. I know everyone is busy. I know I have a busy life. We all have busy lives still. And I just thank you for taking the time to come and hang out with me If this sounds like something that you want to continue discussing, we build a community, we hold each other accountable, we get on this journey to retirement together. Hit that subscribe button and like this video and send it to a friend. Send it to a friend so that we can all start to think about successfully retiring. All right, y'all. I will see y'all in the next video. Also, check out my shorts because I will start showing a lot more of my gardening content, especially on shorts. All right, see y'all in the next video. And also, before I go, let me know in those comments below. Let me know what y'all want to see and what y'all want to talk about, because I'm really here for you all. This is a two-way thing, right? So let me know what y'all like to see in future videos. All right, thank y'all.